Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Skyrim Plus. Today we're featuring Scholar's Retreat by ElfieMyrtle. Let's check out the map. Here we are at Scholar's Retreat. We're right near Ivarstead and Nilheim, and here we are again at Scholar's Retreat. And here we are outside of ElfieMyrtle's third player home. Her first home was Bandit Lair, and her last home was Peaceful Garden. If you haven't seen those, I'll link my features of them in the description. Starting on the outside of the home, we have stone flower beds with bright, beautiful flowers. Don't those look great? And check out the ravens and this dragon skull covered in ivy on the top of the home. That looks pretty epic. As we drop down and walk up to the porch, we have a few different options on where to go. First, you could head straight and then head down some stairs to a special item room. Or you could go right and go to the smithing suite. Or you could head left like we're about to and go towards the library. As a feature in all ElfieMyrtle mods, she's included a Fountain of Unburdening, which takes the smithing materials out of your inventory and automatically sorts them in the home. And did you notice that you can see into this home's windows and open the doors without a loading screen? That's because this is a no load door home, and if you've seen many of my features, you know those are my favorite types of homes. My channel has a whole playlist devoted to these, and I'll link that in the description too. Check out these pretty flowers on the ground. There's an apiary, so if you're a fan of making stamina potions, you have the bees to do it. With this home being located in the Rift, it's no surprise that the area is surrounded by beautiful aspen trees. You're also located just off the Treva River, which leads to Lake Hondrich by Riften. We also have a side porch that has lots of flower beds. You can see into the library through the windows. I love that. And as we continue on, if we go and look over this fence, you have excellent views of the region. Look at that waterfall to your left, mountains, look at those beautiful trees, you can see the sea. And look, there's even another waterfall. You have two waterfalls right near your home. So pretty. Okay, let's turn our attention to your home because that has some pretty features too, like these textures. And then check out these statues that are on top of your home. We'll zoom in to give you a little closer look. It looks like you have some graybeard statues and that dragon skull again with a bird's nest on top. And there's the bird. Alright, continuing on, we've got some more flower beds. Here's another view inside of that library. I bet you'll be excited to see in there in a moment. Next, we'll head down these stairs and we'll turn our attention to a little coffee nook. You've got a couple of wicker chairs. Check out this candlelit table with some awesome textures and that custom bench. Look at this ivy blowing gently in the wind, and then you've got a dragon posted up on top of your home. And you have a raven on the other side. There's some more of that great looking ivy, and then to your right, that's the door to the kitchen. That's actually the first room we'll go in later in the tour. To the left, you have an observation deck with a bench, a juniper tree, and a cool statue. So here's another good spot for you to soak in those views. And we'll show you what the other view looks like if you're looking at the statue and the juniper tree from below. How cool did that look? As we continue, these stairs would take us down to the lower deck, but we'll explore that at the end of the tour. For now, we'll go straight, and on the left you have a wood chopping block for your firewood needs. There's some of those plants from Blackreach on the ground, and to the right you have a side entrance to your kitchen, and now we start to see our smithing suite workstations with the anvil to the left, and the smelter, and then this looks like a second anvil, but this is named storage for smithing. We'll sneak a view of the Treva River real quick, just so you can see what that looks like in the distance. And now we'll turn around and face our ivy-clad covered porch. And underneath, you have a dining table, you have a workbench, more named storage for smithing. To the right, you have a tanning rack, and then straight ahead, you have a grindstone. And that pretty much finishes up our tour of the outside of the home. Now it's time to tour the inside. We'll start back by our coffee ledge, and then we're going to actually head in these doors to the kitchen. And when you enter the kitchen, you've got really high ceilings, and it looks really impressive. We're going to spin around towards the door, and you'll see two switches. The top switch controls the outdoor lights, and then the bottom switch controls the lights for this room. And as we turn to the right, we have a cooking pot, and that has an activation button for the fire too, and we have even more clickies over here. Here's an additional cooking pot, because why not? Two's better than one. And then you also have a kitchen sink with running water, which can be turned on and off by that nozzle. I love being able to see outside of these windows. You also have named storage for mead, ale, raw foods, and cooked foods. And then there's the door that leads to the smithing suite and the wood chopping block. There's your butter churn, one-handed weapons, shields, heavy armor, two-handed weapons, named storage for robes, light armor, archery equipment, a boss chest, staves. It looks like you've got a giant map. And then over here you have a shrine of Mara, beautifully lit by candles. There's the entrance to your library. We'll be there in just a moment. And then if you look up and to the right, you have a map of Vardenfell. That's cool. And then over here, you've got a dining room table. And then that's where we started over there at the door. I don't know if I've mentioned this yet or not, but this is not nav mesh, so your followers can't come with you. So if that's important to you, I would suggest getting ElfieMyrtle's other home mod, Peaceful Garden, which gives a lot of accommodations to kids, followers, spouse, etc. Now that we've taken an initial spin around the library, let's talk specifics. There are two buttons on the wall. The bottom controls the lighting for this room. The top, though, has a different function. As you notice right now, we have natural light pouring in through the windows. But if you needed some privacy because you're reading something sensitive, you can activate this button, and now you've got some curtains. Boom, privacy. Or you could be like me and just always keep them open because you love the look of nature and being able to see outside. Moving on, you've got a little game area over here, and that's that game from The Witcher 3. There's the door that we saw earlier that leads out to the apiary in the front. And it looks like ElfieMyrtle left us some books on display over here. It looks like one's pretty colorful and one has some interesting content. Another staple of ElfieMyrtle homes are the figurines on top of the bookcases to show the content within. For example, there's a dragon on this bookcase, and the content inside is all about dragons. Let's do one more example. On top of this bookcase, you can see some Daedra, and the topics within are Aedra and Daedra. So you get the idea. So look at all of these figurines on top to figure out what kind of books go in that space. Check out these beautiful dark elf lanterns. The drapery looks amazing. Look at this awesome desk space to get all of your work done. And you've got some natural light from the outside coming in. Yeah, she did a nice job with this library space. Now that we've seen what our library has to offer, we're going to take this hatch door to the special item and enchanting space. Let's take a quick spin around so we know what to expect. If you remember the beginning of the tour outside, I told you one of the options was to go straight and down some stairs to get to your unique items. I was referring to this door, so if you come from that way, this is where you'll end up. One of the first things I noticed was this cool rug with the axe on it. I also like these art selections. They really add a pop of color to this space. Under the first painting, you have a shrine of Julianos, and under the second, you have a little miniature word wall, and beside that's a tiny wardrobe, and she even made you some cool clothes. These are recolored versions of the Mythic Dawn robes, and they come unenchanted for now. But isn't that neat that she thought to give you these? Now I'll stand back up and continue the tour. Nose over toes. Oh, there we go. Next we're heading to our staff enchanting area, and to our left we have the Secrets of the Darkest Arts bookcase and a barrel for staves. The artwork and the books reflect the lifestyle of a scholar trying to learn all he can about his magical arts to perfect them. And look at that powerful staff enchanter. Now that looks impressive. And over here you have a Daedric alphabet book. Yikes. As we round the table, you'll see another button on the wall that controls whether or not this window has a curtain. And then you can also place a Dragon Burial Mound map if you have that in your inventory. On this well-designed table, you have the Mage Stone and a Shrine of Akatosh. You have some wicker furniture that sits right in front of your enchanting station. We'll look at that in just a moment. Over here you have a bookcase for magical studies, and then that dwarven container contains enchanting gear. And then it looks like you have a little reading table over here. Check out the black book effect with those words moving around. And then here's your enchanting station. You have a chest underneath. The container with the soul gems is general storage for enchanting. This blue structure in the middle is your custom arcane enchanter. And then you have a stack of books to study later. I haven't even visited this house, but I know exactly what it smells like. Over here you have special storage for the Mythic Dawn commentaries. There's your Elder Scrolls, your Dragon Claws. I love it being near that mini brazier. And then check out this unique bookcase for your black books. Next to that you have all of the Dragon Priest masks, and then the Paragons, and then 4 books from Dawnguard. There's Calcimo's stone rubbings and a lexicon, and then there's the Ogma Infinium. But even though you have to collect all of these items on your own, she did give you a replica workstation like in Legacy of the Dragonborn. So you can replicate items like Baron Zaya's crown, Calcimo's stone rubbing, jagged crown, Ogma Infinium, and a quill. You just have some different recipes to get there. And then if you want to, you can use this little chest that she's provided for some materials to get you started, like charcoal, gold, inkwells, linen wraps, quills, and rolls of paper. Okay, moving along. Look at this column and the detail she put into that. And around the corner we have another great place to sip some coffee. It looks like you have a shag rug, a wicker seat, a nice table. There's another one of those curtain buttons behind the chair. But again, why would you want to cover this up? Look at that beautiful side of nature. But if you want some privacy, the curtain's there. And she also put up this custom painting. How cool does that look? Okay, now we're going to go down these stairs. And then to the right, you have your bedroom. And on the right side of the wall, you have your light switch. And now we'll spin around and check out the bed. You have a double bed. Again, it's just for looks because this place is not nav meshed, but it does look nice. And then you've got a jewelry box on the left for your favorite jewelry. You've got a little Spriggan statue. There's another button to control the curtains in this room. And then you have a few cupboards sprinkled in for storage. Here's your bathroom. And who knew toilets could be this fashionable? Look at that intricate design. Further back, you have your shower. It's controlled by that nozzle. And usually it's darker in here, but when you turn the nozzle, it also turns on that light source right there, which is heating your water. That's pretty nifty. When you exit that room, you've got a dining table, a map of Skyrim, a rack for your staves, unarmed storage, probably for robes. There's a wardrobe, and then you have some special storage. Those strong boxes help you sort through all sorts of jewelry options. You have spots for the crown of Baron Zaya, the jagged crown, the ethereal crown, the ancient Falmer crown, and the diadem of the savant. And that Dwemer cube holder is named storage for your treasures. There's one more look at your bed before we look at the last part of the home, the lower level deck. And here it is. Let's take a look off of the side ledge first. Beautiful mountain view again. There are plenty of flowers and ingredients growing in this area too, in case you need to harvest. Those stairs take you towards the observation deck, and then there are your bedroom windows. Lastly, we'll check out the Alchemy nook. When we round this corner, you'll see the potion stores. You have some harvestable ingredients above the skull, and on that bench beside the skull is where you can store your insects in a jar. You also have alchemical stores, herbs, magical components, and gemstones. And then there's your custom alchemy lab. It looks like you're studying the anatomy of a skeever for your experiments. And then this button on the table is to control the candlelight to toggle it on and off. Now that we've seen what this home has to offer, it's time for some final thoughts. Scholar's Retreat is a large, no-load door home with epic views for a lone player or a home away from your followers. It has tons of great features like your full smithing suite, outdoor alchemy lab, custom arcane and staff enchanters with a truly magical design, tons of unique item displays, a replica station, robes, clickies controlling lights, water, and curtains, and tons of great artwork and decoration. This feels like a custom home because you won't see the same furniture and artwork in many of the other homes, and I like that. And remember, if you are in need of a home with followers and like her style, check out her last home, Peaceful Garden, which has room for 8 followers, 6 kids, and a spouse. I can't wait to see what ElfieMyrtle's next project, the Lake House, will look like. I hope you enjoyed this one. This concludes our feature of Scholar's Retreat. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and leave a comment with your thoughts. To see more of my past tours, click the playlist on the top left. To see my future content, click the channel icon on the bottom left to subscribe. And to never miss an episode, click the bell icon to receive notifications of when I post. As always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next episode.